Better late than never, they say. Or, although never would be better in the case of this stupid show. My name is Matt, which you probably know by now since if you've watched my videos before. My channel is Unbearable 73. I'll be giving my review of Wheel of Time, or Wheel of Prime, Season 2, Episode 6. I have another video where I react to the episode. It's cut down so you can just see what I'm actually thinking as it goes. There are people like Disparu and The Night's Watch and the Men of Manetherin, who have some great videos. Prophet of the Dragon, some great videos, who all do long-form reviews of this episode. Lady Bellfire, the Whitecloaks. They do these long-form reviews, which are in-depth, and if you want that, I watch them. I'd recommend it. I'm just going to give you my thoughts in my short reviews on some things I've noticed, object to, or things that make you go, So let's get right into it. So this episode 6, it's the worst of the season so far, which is saying a lot for the show. Okay, this is like if you on the Highlander scale, this is like the Highlander Endgame, possible Highlander the source of the season, so to speak, if you want the Highlander references, depending on what happens in 7 and 8. Last week, however, and what makes it even more contrast was that last week, episode 5, was the least worst episode of the season. So, this episode we get Ogier as Doc Covell, Leandrin still being portrayed as the main character, and an ending featuring sea-level character who gets virtually no time in the actual novels, having a battle to the end as the Seanchan call her. That's a character we just don't care about, which is a thing. Anyway, my first thought is that they dragged Egwene fighting against Yadam way too long. They could have had her succumb earlier and then use the training scenes to expose the audience to get more information from the books about the Seanchan, expose their culture. But that would require good writing, which ain't evident in this show. Instead, I, like many others, we just got tired of her being tortured the same way for repeat scene after repeat scene. In Star Trek Next Generation's Chain of Command, which I believe was a two-parter, the Picard's torture scenes, so they avoided annoying repetition. They had conversations with Picard and his torturer. They made the scenes interesting, whereas in this show, the only purpose of these scenes was to get to the special effect where Ween picks up the jug with hot and then goes, or the sound effect goes on. That was the entire point of those scenes, to have that repeat over and over again. Okay, not any meaningful conversation between the Adam, the Soldam, and the Damane. None of that. All right. Basically they're girl bossing a queen, right? Compare and contrast, where they basically simped out Rand for again another whole episode. I've already mentioned the horror scene with the Seanchan had an Ogier as a Doc Covell. If the book Seanchan walked into that scene, the Seanchan will be executed. Okay? And what makes it worse is you'll hear dialogue where they say the Death Watch Guard, the Death Watch Guard. So there are a Death Watch Guard there, and they're letting an Ogier be treated as a Doc Covell. That's even worse. And then with another comment, the scene where Lanfear murders Leandrin's son makes zero narrative sense. Forget that let's pretend Robert Jordan died in Vietnam, so he never wrote Wheel of Time. Let's pretend that Rafe Jordan was actually more like Matt Walsh from The Other Wire, and so he's not woke, right? He's still a horrible writer, okay? Because he has this scene, this is a prime example. Like, Leandrin, who's our main character, goes battle between a good guy and a bad guy constantly. So he's trying to portray her as being torn up about it, right? Because of our son, our love for our son. So you would think having Lanfear murder her son would push her over to the good side, but not in Rafe's logic. As we see, why would Leandrin serve the Dark if Lanfear murdered her own son? Makes no narrative sense. And I guess my last comment will be about the idiocy of Lana and her merry men. Even conceiving that Alan Mandragoran could be a dark friend. Okay? In the books, before he became a warder, Lan was known as waging a one-man war against the dark. Okay? His character is without question, especially by Alana and her Manaja dumbasses. Okay? And this show expects its storyline to be taken seriously when a character assassinate land. This episode is a -1 out of 10. A -1. That's how bad. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Smash the like button if you liked it. Hit dislike if you didn't. Comment down below if you have any questions for me about this video. Please share the video if you found it worthwhile. I'm Matt. This has been another episode of Unbearable 73. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.